Hello, my dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome to the East-West Show. Jack Chow on the East-West with the G&E TV. Today with me is a friend from New York, all the way from New York. Back east, I have lots of friends. But this time when my good friend Ed Eep visiting Los Angeles, I dragged him over. I said, I need you. I need you for help. Why? Because I'm lost a little bit. Because right now you look around you, you look at the nation, all fingers are pointed. And they are pointing, everybody is pointing finger at everybody, no finger pointing on anybody himself or herself, or so on and so forth. Especially with the problem surrounding the partisanship, the argument going back and forth, the zigzag thing. Everybody starts to blame the media. For media, we're talking about traditional media and the social network media. So my friend Ed Eep is a successful media man with lots of records, good record. You know, POS.com is his organization. He is CEO of that organization. So Ed, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Very
yeah,
good.
Thanks for having me.
All right, very good. As a matter of fact, I'm excited because you come all the way from New York, right? So have fun in Los Angeles. How did you like Los Angeles already?
Love it. One of my favorite cities.
Oh, yeah?
Weather's
not in the heat, though.
It's a little bit hotter than New York.
Yeah, it was 107 yesterday, and it is reported to be 111 today.
Great.
I'm pretty sure your jacket will work.
Works very well.
That will insulate
Beautiful
you
inside the
from
studio,
right?
so it
works
very well.
So, now, with the subject that I just threw on the table, right? What's your overall comment?
I love...
We'll go into area, but details, but overall.
I love politics, but over the last few years, I think the world changed quite a bit. Media became like a supermarket. A kid can walk in,
Media became like what?
A supermarket.
Ah.
A grocery store.
Oh, I think a good term.
A kid can walk in and make any choices that they want. It wasn't that case before. It was a couple of network channels and a couple of radio stations. And the same thing I tell my kids, when you walk in a grocery store, you have to make the right choices. And I think that's the same challenges we have with media today. There's innovative choices that someone can make to only listen to what they want to hear. Same thing I tell my kids. Potato chips are great, but you need to balance it out a little bit too.
In other words, for media who tends to be like supermarket or grocery stores, they have everything still there on the shelves.
Yep.
Right?
And it's more the product, the consumer products. The supermarket is like Facebook, the internet. When you walk into that channel, you have 1,000 different choices.
All right.
Back then, you have a CBS, NBC, ABC, a couple of
you're right.
network stations
you're
in the
right.
US.
Yes.
Now anyone with YouTube with an iPhone can be a YouTube star and have their own channel.
All right. But there's a big thing, and I would like to still play a little word with you. When you say a grocery store, you're talking about all our life necessities, right? The very basic necessity.
Yes.
Right. For example, if you want to get a stack of for example, Tchaikovsky,
sure,
you can't find it because a grocery store doesn't do that.
Yep.
If you want to buy a piano, you can't do it, right? So grocery store is a grocery store.
Correct.
For the media these days, becoming or has become already a market or supply store, the convenience store, so on and so forth. It must have lost those major stuff. Am I right? Or put those major stuff aside.
But we were never able to make micro decisions. Like today, if I could pick, in the past, I can pick between CNN, a couple of 24-hour news, entertainment, and news networks. But today, I can focus on one topic on how much I love or hate about Trump, or how much I hate about certain specific niche area that never existed before. Right? I could start my own group and only share right wing or left wing news with that specific group.
All right. So if we define those right or left, be the items that are on the shelf in the convenience store, though, there is no middle to talk about.
Because middle is kind of boring, and it's hard to get, because
there's no money there.
There's no entertainment there.
All right,
right?
No entertainment there.
If you look at the 24-hour news network, news used to be a social service, a public service. Now it's moneymaker, profit center. You have some of the best rating on different major networks, Fox, CNN, all focus on prime time. That people used to watch sitcom, now people are watching entertaining news. And I think the mindset changed a lot.
In other words, the structure of the whole thing has changed. Am I right? To the consumer, I mean, the news readers, they are selective to only certain news, but personal, self-centered news. Their own taste.
I can choose taste. I think that
Taste.
may not be what they like to hear, but I can choose what I want to hear and only what I want to hear. Correct. Taste. I think taste is much better word than left and right.
Taste, right? Okay. Now to the media, they sneak around to find out how many tastes they out there, and they make product to the taste.
Correct.
Right?
Like if you walk into a supermarket, you have 1,000 flavored potato chips, right? It's good to find someone that fits that market.
I see.
And I think with with Facebook, a lot of these groups, you have some ultra right wing like InfoWars,
ultra, yes.
Alex Jones have million something subscribers. It's probably bigger than most TV channels in US. If you look at across every single market in US, that guy probably have bigger viewership than many local stations. And I can only listen to that kind of philosophy in that area.
That's the quoted, quote unquote, the targeted audiences.
Technology allows us to target that niche and also allow us to reach what we want, the content we want.
This exactly the contrary. I've seen old times. If you buy a newspaper, for example, New York Times, for example, LA Times, right? And you have a stack of this thick, and it has sports section, international section, political section, lifestyle section, on and on and on and on. Right? And then, well, it provides you the overall universal latitude of the whole thing.
Correct.
All right? Now, instead, no.
Now, instead, I can, today, if you want, I can look at InfoWars to find out the latest conspiracy, why government are using water to turn us gay, in the gays, right? What's the latest Obama conspiracy? Or I could listen to the left at Bill Maher, why every single religion is evil, is bad.
All right,
So but those are the people you hear people talk about, right? The guys in the middle. It's not as sexy, it's not as exciting anymore.
All right,
and
boring. Your term, boring.
Yeah.
And there's no money there. And to the publisher, there's no money there.
Because it's not entertaining.
No entertainment.
If I sit here and talk about facts, right? We can talk about statistics, talk about facts, talk about science. It's like going to class.
Especially when you talk about, when you want to talk about conspiracy, though, there's no paper runs a conspiracy section, right? None of the traditional paper that has a conspiracy section, no.
At least more substantiated ones, right? I mean, I wouldn't say like New York Times or Washington Post or Washington Times. These mainstream, they don't steer off track. But
interesting.
At least not to the point where all religions are bad, or to the point where it's a conspiracy that government is turning water into making you and homosexuals, right? There has to be something in the middle
In other words, the more extreme you can play, the more money is there.
The more, and
Am I right?
the easier for someone
Or the
to attract
or the
attention.
easier to make money. Put it that way.
Yep.
All right, very good. My dear audience, my lovely audiences, I would say my fellow Americans, if you care about the United States, which is our own country, you must care about this conversation. We're talking about now, as a society, what are we doing? How are we doing with our media as a platform? The platform has changed. It tilted to one way or the other. It never stays as flat. Never stays in the middle. Today with me is my good friend from New York, Ed Ipe. Yep. Ed Ipe is I would say senior, he doesn't look that old, but by trade, he's a senior media man. And he has been doing this for many, many years. He's the CEO of POS.com. He is sharing his thoughts with me and with my audience and with you about what's going on with the media. Well, now in his term, probably a market, a supermarket, or even a convenience store, right? A grocery store, call it that way. All right, we'll take a short moment now. When we come back, we'll find out each and every single area in every aspect, see what's wrong, what's right. Let's see. Stay with us. Hello, my dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome back to the discussion about media. Media. We're talking about the two parts, two portions, right? Yep. One traditional media, yep. One the new merge, the IT media, called the social network. Sure. For social network, you have all kinds. You have WeChat, Twitter, you have Facebook, so on and so forth. Yep. Instagram, so on and so forth. You have so many. Even the you're talking about choice or taste. Even the users are choosing their own taste, right? And then, now, for the traditional media, what you see on the contrary is that the paper getting thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner. Los Angeles Times is about this. Okay. It used to be like this, right? I don't know what your New York Times looks.
Same
right?
thing.
Same thing, right?
Yep.
They are shrinking, to almost to the point of gone, right? So now, with this, people, I mean, when we say people, you're talking about consumer in all, right? As all, right? Yep. So left or right, is it a healthy way to go or is it unhealthy way to go?
Let me use the analogy of supermarket again.
Okay.
Is it unhealthy? Absolutely, right? But you have to understand the role and position of the media, right? They're responsible to the shareholder. Yes, there's some social responsibility as well. And the goal, it's a big part of it, is viewership, Nielsen ratings. At the end of the day, they have to pay the celebrity entertainer or newscasters or journalists, or they could all be the same person in many cases. But people blame fake news, blame the news media, but I think one of the problems that people don't talk about is personal consumer responsibility. You go to a supermarket, of course they can sell you potato chips or sell you what's popular, right? But at the same time, if you don't go in and make the right choices, you cannot just trust media company, or at least one-sided media. It would be great if you have a couple of choices and at least balance it out, right? Yes, Bill Maher, Alex Jones, those may be entertaining, but fact check some of your info. To your comment though, I quite agree with you. To your comment, I have something to disagree with as a concept though. In school, have we all learned that media supposed to be loyal to facts, yes. Right? To stay in the middle of the road all the time, to bring the facts, nothing but the fact, nothing but the truth to the society, right, to the public. And now, media, we are the kind of people
that cannot be bought. Under this beautiful flag of democracy, we have to swear in to our loyalty to facts,
Sure.
not even money. Am I right? Now, am I right if I say, going towards what you described, everybody has forgotten what news media has to do and the nature of news media? Am I right?
Yes, to a certain extent, right? I think there's a very noble mindset, but the fact that any kid on a block, down the block from you, can use a webcam, and you're on YouTube, you have your own channel. That there's little. They don't have a newsroom. They don't have anyone to verify the facts. And absolutely, you're right. I think there's some member and many members of the media good people. They do have honor in their work, but then there's also a bunch of people out there that focus on rating, focus on ideas that are exciting, that are sexy, right?
Or it needs to be entertained.
And correct. And they are, like I said, there are a lot of journalists, there are news reporters, and entertainers, and some of them are all in one, and you don't know which road they take when they're giving you their version of facts. Or alternative facts, right? But I think a big part of it is consumers have some type of responsibility to look at various sources.
In other words, if it is trend, it is market-oriented, consumer-oriented trend. Am I right?
It consumer. I hate to say this. There's way too many choices for consumer to make that decision to focus only on what you want to hear. To the niche, to the point that pretty extreme, right? And I think from this election cycle, we can see a lot of fake news from both sides. And consumer can focus all they want to hear, and then stay on a Facebook group to talk about how much they hate Hillary, how much they hate Trump, or how much they hate left or right. That's okay. That's the choices available. But the technology available to media companies is I can also target that kind of clients, right? If someone like InfoWars, Alex Jones, I use that because it's quite extreme, and I can target more that same type of news to him.
But the thing is that the media organizations themselves tend to be divided already themselves, among themselves. You have the left-wing media, you have the right-wing media. And the list, the more and the more you go, you'll find the less and the less of the mainstream middle of the road media. I mean, road media like you and I, like EDI, like G&E TV. We try to stay in the middle of the road, less and less that. So does that mean the media principle, like I said, the principle was that to be loyal to facts, right? That principle, does that no longer exist? Or is this only a short period of time, very temporary?
Wow.
Are we going that way?
I think the.
I know that's a big one. That's
very big.
That's a hard one. That's hard.
I think that's good.
Sorry. Even though I'm asking, I don't even know.
Because I think the pendulum going to swing one way or the other. At one point, we have no choice. When Facebook came out, when internet came out, great, we have all these choices. Everyone have their voice. But then you realize no one wants to hear someone else's voice. They always want to hear what they want to, what they're affiliated with. Like you said, the tastes. So you become surrounded by only people you want to hear. And you stop fact-checking yourself. You don't verify the sources you hear, right? I love to hear. I watch Fox, I watch MSNBC, watch RT as well, right? Just to get different perspective. And what's scary is when if you watch the same news story on BBC, RT, Fox, MSNBC, you don't even think they talk about the same thing. and it's quite extreme how that's possible.
All right. We can probably give a criticism to the media who tries only to feed in the taste, to consumer taste, whatever, for the sake of money, right? And on the other hand, the same coin, on the same side of the coin though, how do you analyze the responsibility for consumers? Instead of, in addition to their own taste, they emphasize their own taste though, do they have a social obligation themselves?
Absolutely. And I keep on going back to the supermarket analogy because
that's a good concept.
You cannot blame Coca-Cola for giving you a product that has high in sugar, high in food coloring, 1,000, I don't know how many ingredients are in there. You know, right?
Yeah.
But it is your fault if that's all you use to hydrate yourself, right? Same as potato chips, same as everything else. The choices are there, and I think the choices just get even more. And if the consumer don't try to fact check or at least look at what the other side have to say about a specific topic, it's good. It's you cannot blame the corporation. Their main goal is their responsibility to their shareholders.
Another word, of course, even if eating potato chips can make you live, right? But if you decide because of the taste of potato chips that feeds you, you live on 24-hour basis on potato chips, that will in the end kill you.
Depend, most likely.
Right?
Yeah,
most likely.
It won't end up well. It won't be good for you.
It won't be good for you, right?
My kids may argue otherwise.
Yeah, they will do that otherwise.
Correct.
But that's why. And in other words, even though there are well, I hate to say trash food because I eat. I eat too.
So do I.
There's trash food outside though,
Yep.
and you can eat once again, every now and then.
Yep.
If you decide the rest of your life stays on hamburgers, that's not a good choice. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Right. So if we want to blame or advise our consumers, we want to say, what do we want to say to them for to enlarge their choices?
Choices are there, right? And the choices are already there. And I think a big part of it is consumer have to step out of the comfort zone and try to hear the stuff they don't want to hear. Like going to the doctor, right? Your cholesterol a little high, or maybe eating a little too much potato chips. But people go back to their own habits, human nature of habits. But if you tried at least to look at from a different perspective, people are not that crazy at all. And I think the problem we have in this country, in the world, and this is all over the world, not just in U.S. If you look at media in Hong Kong, you look at media in around the world, it's not that the other guy sees things differently from me. It's the other guy batshit crazy.
That's good.
Right? We don't question intent anymore. We don't question our method anymore. We question the intent. Think about how many times you hear politicians from the other side, that guy's out to destroy America. That guy hates democracy. That guy is a KKK, Nazi, and whatever you want to brand the other party, right? And that's a problem. We may see things differently. Does not necessarily mean that I'm out to destroy America. But we question people's intent.
That's a very sounding advices. But my dear audiences, I have my opportunity to chat with my friend Ed Ip. Ed Ip is the CEO of POS.com, at a very big firm back in the East Coast, in Los Angeles. We're sharing his thoughts on the criticism about media so far, and he's making his recommendations. If you call it your own choice, so we have no problem by picking up only potato chips only, or French fries only? Was there hot dogs only? However, we recommend that hot dog, if you decide to stay on hot dogs so the rest of your life, though, you're going to die before me, right? So one thing. And then Ed went a step further to give advices that you probably keep your hot dog still, and you want, meantime, enlarge your, widen your area of choices to see what other people do, right? Yep. Okay, very good. Let's take a very short moment now. When we come back, because for the 1, 2, 3, all the 3 segments, we're talking about money versus the market, right? And then when we come back, we'll talk about politics versus media. Sure. See how they function and how we want to do, what we want to do. Once again, we're going to ask him for his advices. Please stay with us. Hello, my dear friends, my lovely audience. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, Jack Chow on the East West with G&E TV. Today, to my honor, I have my friend Ed Ip joining me. He is the CEO of POS.com, which is of course a tech company, right?
A tech, and we do online marketing as well.
Online marketing and tech company and everything. You are everything.
No, we focus on retail and hospitality.
Oh yeah, and then you were here talking about the media responsibility and consumers' responsibility.
Yes.
That makes you everything.
Right. That makes me a parent.
Okay, right? Good, very good, very good. And come back to the point, we're talking about media becoming a supermarket, becoming a grocery store, becoming a convenience store, though. And we feel our conclusion was that they are going either left or right because the money is there, being more the extreme, more the money, right? Because there's no money in the middle. Even if in the middle, even if there's no money, you're talking about there's no even entertainment in the middle, right? All right, now, talking about politics, we know this country has been divided, so divided. Okay, what is your take as the country division versus the media tendencies, please?
I think it's the media choices that force us to be more divided than before. Because, like I said earlier, before, if you can focus every day, inundated with your group chats, your Facebook groups, your news feed, only on sources that you want to pick. And I know many friends that don't have TVs anymore, right? That you don't have a little more balanced feed of information, and your reality of what's factual, what's real, it kind of changes over time, right? A good example. And your life experience changes. Here's a good example. I'm going to give you a case. Someone, a couple months ago, asked me this. Ed, do you believe in torture? No, torture is bad. It's wrong, right? We should not do that. We're Americans. We should have a much higher baseline. And my friend asked me his follow-up question is, what if that guy has your kid and you know that person will get your information to save your kid? If that's the case, I only have one question. Does hot water work better or cold water works better when you waterboard someone? Right?
Should have been that simple, yeah.
And I think life is, I don't think it's that black and white. Before, that were asking me, no, torture is bad. It's absolutely wrong. But when it comes to your family, it's not that black and white anymore.
All right, okay. In other words, as a matter of fact, you take black or white, both are right.
I think it's
now people are pushed to a corner that they either do black or do white, right?
It's many more shades. Correct. It's many more shades and grades in between. I don't want to use 50 Shades of Grey because it's completely off topic, but there's definitely many more shades between than the extreme right and wrong. and we don't compromise on that.
Politicians, when they see the tendency of going extreme, they try to fit into that. They try to fit into the taste of their targeted people, right? And then their approach made the consumer even more going that extreme. It's going like a negative cycle. Am I right?
Because if I'm extreme, I'm generally much more loyal to my source of information. People in the middle, a lot of people don't really care. Okay, fine. Yeah, I may be against gun control, but I'm for this. That's like, but then you have people that's extremely red and extremely blue on the columns. That makes it. Those are much your much more loyal base.
Let's use the LGBT group for example.
Yep.
Probably want to dissect it to see how do you see that. And these years, I know that the LGBT has been a problem, been a subject for many decades, right? And then only these past few years is brought up as politics already, as a politics, right? What's your take, please?
It's always been politics, right? Think about during Bush election. There's going to be an amendment to ban gay marriage, right? They always talk about right around presidential election, because it drums up your base. It brings the people for or against out of that, out to vote, right? That's always been used. But if you look at today, I think people change. I've changed, right? I thought, wow, gay marriage, I don't know. But now, I attend a couple weddings and it's amazing, right? And I think people change, the perspective change. And like I said, it's, and also as I've gotten older, life is a lot less black and white anymore. And I think both left and right have their issues. Yes, I believe in LGBT rights, but I also don't. I'm not sure if I agree with the extreme left or a lot of the liberal side that said, okay, if I identify myself with any gender, I can walk into any bathroom I want, right? I think that's one extreme.
Okay, forget the gender thing. Just to prevent the chances that we got ourselves into trouble by giving that much of a comment, right?
Sure.
Oh, by the way, whatever I say, represent myself. That's my only personal point of views, nothing but my personal point of view.
Sure.
It doesn't represent the organization, the show at all, right? Okay, now, let's do this. To get away from the sensitive group, right?
Yep.
Okay, we're talking about, if I were the legislature, I would create a law that says everybody that has 6 fingers should deserve the same right as 5, right?
Okay.
Okay, can you disagree with me?
Sadly,
do you dare to disagree with me?
It depends what else comes along with that, right?
So I need your vote. I need your vote, and you're voting on public record, right? So, do you dare to disagree with me?
If truly as simple as that, yes, everyone should be treated equally.
Yeah, of course,
Absolutely.
yes. Right? So everyone has to say, yeah, of course, let's vote yes.
But
and the law passed,
correct.
Right?
Yep.
As a result.
Yep.
And next day, another one comes in. Say, my friend Sissy from New York says, okay, I propose a law that everybody had 7 fingers should deserve the right as everybody who they have 6 or 5.
Yep. But were they being discriminated before?
Yeah, they were.
On what basis?
And
what rights?
You have too many more fingers.
Great. That would be a great data entry person,
right? So now nobody can vote against the Sisi's bill either, right? So do you think, after all, in a very peaceful mind, though, do you think those are legit bills? Those are really bills? That is my problem. That's been bothering me so far, ever since.
I think it goes much more in terms of impact.
Yeah.
Fingers are kind of interesting scenario you pick.
Okay.
But is that person losing jobs because of the number of fingers? Why does it disturb their job, their school, or what happens, right? I think there's a philosophical that you want everyone to be equal, but then you have the reality as well.
All right. Okay.
There's certain real life environment that may not be able to accommodate.
My whole point is that there are issues in the world. They are there. People, by instinct,
Sure.
would know they are equally human as you are. You don't have to make a law to that to protect that. Am I right?
But then the conservative argue that about skin color as well, right?
Yeah.
I
Of
mean,
course. Skin color is just skin color. That's
Correct.
it.
So should I, the second I'm born differently, or the fact that I believe in certain religion to be discriminated against just because of my religion? No, I don't think so. But does that mean I should have equal right where any color shirt I want to wear, then I should be treated as the same? No, sometimes you just wear pretty crappy shirts.
You're talking about skin color or
Personal choices.
Personal
right?
choice. Okay, so yeah, sure.
Right. And I think as the society develops, we will find better balances. And I think that's going to take time. Just think about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not even a generation, a couple years ago, gay marriage was not even possible to talk
Very
about.
good.
Right?
Now that you mentioned the subject of gay marriage, so I made a declaration already, disclaimer already. You and I, we represent ourselves,
Sure,
right?
absolutely.
How about we take a break and we'll come back if it's talking about it?
Yep.
All right,
Great.
Good, very good. Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to the East-West Show. Jack Chow with my friend Ed from New York, talking about media and the media responsibility versus consumer and consumer responsibilities. From there on, we dragged ourselves to a area of politics. When say politics, we find our nation so divided, and divided by the extreme left or the extreme right. It looks that under heaven, above earth, there are only two things, a black or a right, right? As a matter of fact, in between black and white, there are zillions of different colors right now. And why black and white, or black or right, we let the politicians answer. And then we move ourselves to the gender issue, right? The gender issue. For that, starting that point, I made my disclaimer, my declaration that whatever I say depends on my own personal point of view.
Yep.
I apply my right of First Amendment, freedom of speech, right? Express myself. And you want to make your disclaimer?
It's absolutely my personal opinion. So, yep.
Very good, very good. So, you mentioned about same-sex marriage.
Sure.
What's your take about that? It is confirmed legal. The Supreme Court has voted in favor already.
Years ago, I was not for it. As a kid, I went to Protestant school, Catholic school. I ended up to becoming a Buddhist. So there's certain norms of society that you think that's the right and what's wrong. And that goes back into your reality of what facts are, right? But over time, I have seen my gay friends get married, and some of the best weddings and some of the most emotional weddings I've ever been to. So I realized certain things I cannot judge. I'm not qualified to judge. And yes, and I think most of Americans see that as well. the opinion poll that definitely changed over time. I mean, even 10 years ago, politicians would not talk about gay marriage. You know, from Hillary to Obama, anti-gay marriage, anti-gay marriage. Even, but then as the tide changed, but also the society, how we see the world change, and that, and I'm one of the guys, one of the people that change, and I'm not qualified to judge some of your personal choices, and you should definitely be happy.
So, in other words, you're proactive for same-sex marriage.
Yes.
You are, right? Okay. I tend to be sharing my thoughts, my personal shot with my audience, and also with you, though. I have a problem to accept it.
Sure.
I know it's a law. We have to go abide by law, but I do not feel comfortable. It's not in my comfortable zone.
Yep.
A comfort zone myself.
Sure.
Okay. And if it is just a matter of choice, you may choose anything. If it's you choose to make a law of it,
yep.
I really believe you make something out of nothing. Especially, you know, the law started with one piece of birth cake. I mean, the marriage cake.
Sure.
Right, marriage cake.
Yep.
Should the bakery
yep.
refuse or do
yep.
or not, right, to the job. So now, my question is that when you have the freedom to choose somebody to marry, why wouldn't a bakery have the same right to choose to refuse service?
So are we talking about should gay marriage be legal?
Of course, yeah.
Or
yeah.
should I be allowed to?
It is.
I think it's two very different topics here.
No. I'm exactly talking about the same thing. And you were saying you're making same-sex marriage
sure.
legal.
Yep.
Right? By same-sex marriage, I mean you're choosing to make anybody your partner to get married with legal. Why wouldn't allow a bakery to choose anybody to refuse service to legal? You see my point?
There are going to be certain protected classes, and I'm pretty sure sexual orientation is one of them. To skin of color, your genders, in most cases, right? Protected classes of from discrimination. To just allow anyone to refuse service just because certain choices you make, or certain skin color, or what a couple of decades ago, interracial marriage was illegal, right? In the 60s, interracial marriage was illegal.
That was the Chinese Exclusion Act, 1882, starting with that, lasted till 1943.
Correct.
During that period, Chinese cannot marry a white woman.
No, black and white as well.
Oh, black and white.
Love versus, I forgot the case, Love versus Virginia, I think that was in the 60s and 70s. Someone can fact check this for me. This is just off the top of my head. That allow for
black and white marriage.
Interracial marriage.
Interracial marriage, yeah.
So, as a business owner, I think it would be tough for me to explain to someone, okay, because of personal choices, I don't want to serve you. But then again, if someone wants me to come design a flag for Nazis, or I don't know, I could do that either, right? So I think there's going to be some sort of protected class.
But in California, I don't know elsewhere, and there is a law that you can apply, say, we reserve the right to refuse service to anyone. And in Home Depot, you can even buy a little board that says it. You can hang it, right?
As long as they're not protected class.
Huh?
As long as they're not protected class.
I
could
see.
not let
anyone, you're not refusing the whole class, right?
Correct.
So that people, I mean the bakery, probably what was wrong with that. Yeah, I see what you mean. Say they refuse service the whole group.
Yep.
Right? Okay, now, anyway,
So I'm not a lawyer.
I know.
It's just from my understanding.
Exactly. For that, I want to say, okay, I agree. All right, because they were discriminating a whole group, right? Not a single one.
Correct.
Right. Okay. Now, okay, back to the point though. Regardless of the same-sex marriage or whatever, you're talking about the law itself is one thing. What is bigger, much bigger, is the message behind. The message exactly goes back to your philosophy of going white or right. Am I right?
It goes into that our perspective change over time. Interracial marriage is another example, right? 50 years ago, 60 years ago, not legal was just, wow, just ridiculous. Why would we do that? And to where is the norm, right? And that goes also back to people that have extreme beliefs on both sides.
So over time, things evoluted?
What's acceptable, change.
Yeah.
What's right and what's wrong. I think it's a lot less absolute than we were taught as a kid or we believe. We teach our kids or we go to school, the world is much simpler. That's right, that's wrong. But when it's real life, I think there's a lot more shades of gray than right and wrong.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem with our politics and our media. You don't agree with me. You're evil. You hate America. You're wrong.
Yeah.
You're here to destroy. You must be bad.
As a matter of fact, we were taught in a way to, I may disagree with you, but I support the right for you to speak, right? You have the right to speak. That's old school. Now I want to shut you up.
Yep.
Like that.
Yep.
Okay, my dear audiences, today we're discussing a small matter. It turns to be a big matter. They're talking about the culture, concept change over time, so on and so forth. It all started with the media discussion. And with me today is my good friend Ed Yip. He is the founder and CEO of POS.com and the man for high-tech business and also for online banking. Online marketing.
Payment. We
Payment,
do online
payment? Payment, online payment.
Yes.
Oh, that's
and
good.
Marketing as well.
You also like PayPal stuff, right?
Payment processing. So
Payment processing. Oh, that's a brand new area. By the way, there's something amazing. When I started to pay people over the phone, though, and I was quite amazed. It's probably even from a paperless point of view, it is good.
Yep.
All right, very good. And my dear audience, thank you for watching. And to my friend Ed, thank you for coming and sharing. Let's keep the hands shaking for the record. All right.